Imagine this. It's the middle of the night. Your phone rings. On the other end, your sister is crying. She says only one sentence. I think I just killed someone. Now you have a choice. Do you call the police? Or do you protect your family, no matter the cost? This is the terrifying question at the heart of That Night, a suspenseful crime drama released on Netflix in 2026. And the story begins with three sisters whose lives are about to spiral out of control after one single accident. But before that terrible night, their lives looked almost perfect. The story centers around three sisters from Pamplona: Chris, the warm-hearted dreamer; Paula, the practical and protective older sister; and Elena, the youngest, impulsive and emotional. These sisters share a bond stronger than most families, but that bond was forged in tragedy. Years earlier, their childhood was shattered by a traumatic family event that still haunts them. Their mother died under heartbreaking circumstances, leaving the sisters emotionally scarred. Since then, they've promised one thing: they will always protect each other, no matter what. And that promise is about to be tested in the worst possible way. The story shifts to the beautiful beaches of the Dominican Republic. A year earlier, the sisters visited the island for vacation. While most tourists came for beaches and parties, Chris saw something else. She noticed hundreds of stray dogs roaming the streets, abandoned, injured, forgotten, and something inside her changed. Instead of returning to Spain with her sisters, Chris decided to stay on the island and build a small animal shelter. Her family thought she was crazy, but she didn't care. Helping those animals gave her purpose. 1 year later, the sisters returned to the island again, this time to celebrate the grand opening of Chris's shelter. Paula arrives with her girlfriend, Luisa. Elena arrives with her baby daughter, Anne. For a moment, everything feels happy, like their broken family might finally heal. But that happiness won't last, because one night, Elena makes a phone call, and that phone call changes everything. Chris is closing the shelter for the night when her phone rings. It's Elena. Her voice is shaking. She sounds terrified. She tells Chris to come quickly to a lonely road near the beach. When Chris arrives, she sees Paula already there. The sisters are standing beside Elena's rental car, and beneath the car, there's a body. A man lies crushed under the wheels. Elena begins to explain. She says a man tried to rob her at gunpoint. In panic, she hit the gas and ran him over. The man died instantly. Chris is horrified. Her first instinct is simple: call the police. But Paula stops her, because there's one detail that makes the situation far worse. The dead man is a police officer, and suddenly their nightmare truly begins. For a moment, the sisters stand frozen in silence. If they report the accident, Elena could spend years in prison, and her baby daughter, Anne, would grow up without a mother. Paula quickly begins thinking like a strategist. She proposes a dangerous plan. Instead of reporting the death, they hide it. They will bury the body, use the dead officer's credit cards so it looks like he's still alive, drive around with his phone so it connects to different cell towers, and then quietly return to Spain. If everything goes perfectly, no one will ever know. Chris hates the idea. She believes honesty is the only way out. But Elena is terrified, and Paula insists there is no other option. Finally, Chris agrees, and just like that, the sisters become accomplices to a crime. They drag the officer's body away from the road, bury him in a remote location, and begin creating the illusion that he's still alive. But what they don't realize is that the truth about that night is far more complicated than they think, because the story you just heard is only Chris's version, and in the next episode we hear Paula's version, and suddenly the story changes. In Paula's telling, Elena wasn't simply attacked by a random robber. There were strange details, arguments, suspicious moments, things that Chris never knew. And as Paula reveals her version of events, the audience begins to realize something disturbing. Each sister remembers the night differently, and every new perspective reveals secrets the others are hiding. But the biggest revelation hasn't come yet, because when Elena finally tells her story, everything changes again. When Elena finally explains what really happened that night, the situation becomes even darker. According to Elena, the man didn't just appear randomly. She had encountered him earlier. Their interaction was tense, and when he followed her onto the road, she panicked. The accident wasn't as simple as self-defense. It was messy, confusing, and possibly avoidable. But what matters now isn't what happened. What matters is the cover-up. And the sisters are terrible criminals. Every step of their plan begins falling apart. They make mistakes, they leave clues, and the pressure slowly tears their relationship apart. Police investigators begin searching for the missing officer. Questions start spreading, and the sisters begin blaming each other. Meanwhile, the story dives deeper into their painful past. Their wealthy father enters the picture, a controlling man who manipulated his daughter's trauma for years. Instead of helping them heal after their mother's death, he used their guilt and fear to control them. The sisters grew up learning one thing: family loyalty comes before everything, even the law, even the truth. And now, that belief is pushing them toward disaster. Because every lie they tell creates another problem. Their relationships begin collapsing. Paula's girlfriend, Luisa, grows suspicious. Chris starts questioning whether hiding the truth was a mistake, and Elena becomes increasingly unstable. Meanwhile, the police investigation grows closer. The truth is coming, and when it finally arrives, none of them will be ready. By the final episode, the sisters' carefully constructed lie begins collapsing. The police discover inconsistencies, evidence starts pointing back to the night of the accident, and one by one, the sisters' secrets are exposed. The biggest realization is heartbreaking. The sisters were never truly protecting each other, they were protecting the illusion of family loyalty. But that loyalty had been shaped by years of trauma, their father's manipulation, their mother's tragic death, and the belief that they had to handle everything alone. In the end, the truth finally surfaces. The accident was never meant to be murder, but the cover-up turned a tragic mistake into a criminal conspiracy. The sisters must face the consequences of their choices. Their bond, once unbreakable, is forever changed, and the final message of the story becomes clear. Sometimes the worst mistakes aren't the crimes themselves, they're the lies we tell to hide them. And sometimes, the people we try hardest to protect are the ones we end up hurting the most. And that's where that night leaves us, with a haunting question. If your family asked you to hide the truth, would you do it, or would you walk away? And honestly, none of us truly know the answer until a night like that actually happens. If you enjoyed this story breakdown and want more deep movie explanations like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because the next story we explore might be even darker, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.